Welcome, everybody. I am Cindy Cicalese, and welcome to EMWCon Spring 2017 here at MITRE. So we are going to get started. I'm going to give you just a little bit of a welcome and give you the lay of the land as far as the building and who we are and what we're doing here, and then turn things over to Chris. So as I figure out the computer. All right, so first of all, welcome to MITRE. There are several of my MITRE colleagues here, Bernadette Clemente, myself, Matthew is all the way there in the back, and we heartily welcome you here. Oh, and Janice, where does Janice sit? She's out, okay. Janice will be in a minute, and we welcome you here to MITRE. If you don't know, MITRE runs a set of, how many now, federally funded research and development centers? 5, 6, 7? Matthew, you joined most recently. They must have told you how many. At any rate, federally funded research and development centers. We are chartered by Congress to run these research and development centers. We have a variety for the Department of Defense, the Federal Aviation Administration, the IRS, and several more that provide guidance to the government. We don't competitively bid things. We are brought in to help advise the government on a variety of different concerns. So we are delighted, MITRE is delighted here to host this wonderful gathering. So welcome. See if this works. Yes. Just a little bit about the, so this building is really brand new. It opened in October. In fact, when I was agreeing to host this conference, the building was not yet even open, so it was a little bit of a leap of faith, and I couldn't be more delighted with the facilities as they exist. So welcome here to our brand new building and conference facility. We are out of the main MITRE building, sort of, they call it outside the security perimeter here. If you look through the doors out into that area where we were gathered before, do not go past the glass doors, and there is a security guard there who will remind you not to go past the glass doors into the MITRE building proper. So we'll just be staying in this area here, the auditorium, as well as the reception area outside. If this door here, if you go straight towards those glass doors, but not through them, if you look left and right, that's where the restrooms are. So they are conveniently located here. Everybody was probably already asked for ID when they entered and you got your badges. You all have escort required badges, so you're fine in this facility, but you're not allowed to go into the rest. I'm not sure if you need the emergency phone numbers, but they're here just in case you do. Hopefully we will not need them. And this is a smoke-free environment. I hope nobody brought alcohol, firearms, or illegal narcotics with them because they're not allowed. And if you want to know more about MITRE, you can go to our website. So EMWCon, the organizing committee, you've probably all gotten emails from me at one time or the other, at least seen my name, Cindy Cicalese, and I did all of the high-level details and arranged for the room. So at any rate, if you have any questions about anything in the course of the next several days, please feel free to reach out to me or to the rest of the organizing committee. We have my colleague Bernadette Clemente, who's sitting over here behind the Mac. And she handed you your bags this morning. If anybody didn't get a bag, speak to Bernadette. She took on the duty of assembling all of the wonderful things that you'll find, all of the goodies that are in there, and helping out with booking the social event, which we'll talk about tomorrow night, the dinner. Euron Corin, over there, served as the registration chair, and he is also the father of this series of conferences, Enterprise MediaWiki Con, and everybody probably knows him from all of the wonderful extensions that he's written as well, and the book that he's authored. So at any rate, he helped with the registration and kept telling me as you all signed up, and I was excited at every new name that showed up. Chris, I just saw a second ago, Chris Corner, who I met 2 years ago when he hosted the SMW Con that was in St. Louis, and he is the program chair and helped with setting up all of the talks and organizing the agenda of what we're going to be seeing for the next the next 2 days, today and tomorrow. And was a great help to me, and also gave me his budget for SMWCon, which helped me get started for what I needed to think about buying. And then Mark, I know I saw Mark over there, Mark Hirschberger, who I met, I think, in Montreal at one of the SMW cons, and he's the chair for the Create Camp, which is going to be on Friday, which is going to be more of a free-form day. So we're going to have 2 days of talks and presentations, and then on Friday, we'll start the day with lightning talks, and then have a Create Camp, which will be an opportunity for us all to work in small groups and to take what we've discussed and learned and gotten excited about in today and tomorrow, and to take it to the next step on Friday and do some collaborative work. And then Peter, I don't think I saw, oh, you snuck in and you're in the back. Why are you hiding in the back? Peter Meyer, who is on the board of Wikimedia DC, who I met at the EMW Con last spring in Manhattan, and he has been just wonderful in helping us set up the social event tonight, which I'll talk about in a minute as well. And so he organized that edit-a-thon that we're going to that's going to be as an auxiliary event this evening at George Washington University. So welcome to Washington D.C. for you, those of you who traveled to get here. I was very excited when I was presented the opportunity of hosting this conference here this year, because I thought it would be a great opportunity to see if we could reach out to folks in government and bring them in here, because there's been a lot of wiki use within the government, and I wanted to be able to share and collaborate and get those folks that are local, some of which who haven't had the opportunity to travel to some of our the EMW Con and SMW Con conferences, and bring those government people here. And I'm really excited at how many people that we've been able to get. And we just had, there's somebody here from the Maryland Department of Transportation also. Welcome. That was a last-minute surprise that we were delighted about, but we have today, in the afternoon, we'll have a panel, which we're very excited about, that we have representation from Department of State, Department of Energy, NASA, Bureau of Labor Statistics, and Intellipedia. So we're very excited about that, and getting a chance to hear about those government wikis that sometimes we don't get to hear about, and then to share and learn across the different agencies about wiki use. I also wanted to give a special welcome. We have several folks from the Wikimedia Foundation who work with or for the Wikimedia Foundation. We've got Brian Wolf in the back. We've got Gergo. And we'll tomorrow morning be joined by Victoria Coleman, the CTO of the Wikimedia Foundation. And we're very excited that we'll have her here, and she'll be doing a Q&A, and we'll get to be able to find out really from the source about what's going on within the Wikimedia Foundation as far as MediaWiki is concerned. And we also, the Wikimedia Foundation also was very generously gave a grant to Toby, who's joined us all the way from Germany, to be able to be here today. I also want to give a special thank you to some folks at MITRE who have really helped out with this event. Maureen Hyatt, you might have seen bustling around the food earlier, and she was helping out with getting everything set up, and she's my administrative assistant who has been just fabulous. She also got some of the MITRE stuff that you found in your bags, and I really appreciate all of her help with this event. So I mentioned social events. So this evening, there's an event that is jointly arranged by Wikimedia DC, Peter Meyer, me from MITRE, and the MediaWiki Stakeholders Group, which I think we'll hear more about in the next 2 days. I'm going to make Mark talk about it at some point, which is a group of folks, third-party folks who are using MediaWiki that we started a couple years ago now, that we meet monthly by a hangout or an online collaborative meeting, and talk about issues of using MediaWiki within the third-party community, and we'd love everybody in the room to get involved in that. So the we have set up at the George Washington University this evening, and we'll later on get everybody. I think actually, Bernadette, we've got a flyer in the bags with directions to GW. Is that correct, or did we not? Is that? No. Okay. Well, we will get folks information. See me. We can go together by metro down into the city. The George Washington University is right on a metro stop, and so are we right here. And we can go down, and there's a room reserved for us and members of Wikimedia DC to collaboratively work on editing Wikipedia. The theme is relinking the government with links within Wikipedia that are no longer correctly pointing to places since the change in administration, and trying to fix that. And maybe we'll have Peter come up a little bit later and say a little bit more about that effort. It follows on with a editathon that he hosted about 4 weeks ago at a bookstore cafe called Politics and Prose Downtown, where they started this process. So we'd love for you all to come and join us down at this editathon this evening. And then tomorrow evening at Barrel and Bushel, which is a restaurant that's attached to the Hyatt at the Tysons Corner Center Mall, which is 1 metro stop away. There's going to be a event in the evening that, and I think we do have directions to that in the bag. No? Okay, never mind. We will. It's on the, yeah, all information for all of this is on the wiki page for the conference. And we'll have an evening of food and drink there tomorrow evening and get a chance again. One of my goals for this is to make sure that everybody in this room gets to talk to everybody else in this room and learn whatever other folks are doing with MediaWiki, and learn from each other and share your stories with everybody else. So I'm trying to create as many opportunities as possible for that to happen. The conference program is at this link, which I'm sure you all saw because you all signed up for the conference. And just to go there briefly, after I'm done here, Chris is going to take over with a collaborative session where we get to all introduce ourselves, say a little bit about ourselves, and talk about what we think an enterprise wiki is. And then we will have most of this day, as I said, devoted to introductions to a suite of different federal government agency wikis, and then a panel this afternoon, which I'm really looking forward to, about where we get to talk about those wikis and things that they have in common, challenges, issues, and the future. So then tomorrow, as I said, we start with Victoria Coleman, the CTO of the Wikimedia Foundation, and have a variety of different types of talks throughout the day. And then Friday will be the Create Camp. So you might see there, I think, if I'm not mistaken, behind that banner, which I can't see from here, but I think you all can see, there's a big thing of one of those huge Post-it note pads. And I'm going to, after I'm done here, start finding places on the wall to put those up. And we're going to start, over the next couple days, creating lists of things that we want to, first of all, create camp ideas, things that you'd like to talk about on Friday so that we don't forget. Any ideas that come up as we are, as you're listening to a talk, as we're having questions and answers. Oh, Maureen, come in here. I told you about the wonderful Maureen Hyatt, who's been helping with the food. Thank you. Thank you. So, at any rate. So, I'm also planning to put up a list, MediaWiki wish list, anything that you'd love to see in the future of MediaWiki. I think Chris is going to be talking about the developer wish list for MediaWiki in the Lightning Talk on Friday. But let's just sort of keep track of things as we're going, for things that we'd like to make sure, make it, if we can come together and advocate for things to go into MediaWiki. I put down, I wish I had an extension too. We've got, I think, a number of extension developers in the room, including myself. And I think that, there are always ideas of people that, gee, wouldn't it be great if we had such and such? And so let's keep track of some of those ideas as well. And then I was in a meeting once, maybe you've heard of this concept before, a parking lot. You know, if we get into an avid discussion about something in the question and answer period after a talk and don't have time to fully go into it, we can put that topic on the parking lot and move on to the next talk, and then we will have plenty of time to discuss all of the parking lot issues on Friday. And then if anybody thinks of another list we should keep or another thing they'd like to see somewhere, feel free to grab a piece of paper from the Post-it notepad, put it on the wall somewhere, and we'll keep pens around. And let's keep track of those things so we make sure that we get the most use out of this time together, these 3 days. And finally, enjoy the conference. If you have any questions, as I said, feel free to find me. And I want to do the best that we can to make sure that everybody's having a good time. Bernadette has a question. Use your mic. She's now demonstrating how we use the mics on the tables in front of us.
You push the button. I just
It was really hard.
asked for the directions to be printed out, and we'll get them in a couple of minutes, both the one for the GW location and the big barrel and bushel. So
Thank you. We'll make sure that we get those to you. And Mark has a question, and he's going to push his button.
Do you have a Wi-Fi password?
It's over there.
Okay.
Thank you for reminding me. Over there. For those of you who have not yet found it, the network is called OuterNet, and the password is 4 words that I can't see from up here. Any other questions? Comments? Okay. For the speakers, you can either, there's a PC here that we can load your slides onto. If you email me the presentation, I can make sure that it gets up here before your talk. Or if you've got a USB stick, we can figure out a way to get it on up here. There is also, for those of you who prefer to walk around while you're talking, which I usually do, there's one of these things, portable microphone that you can wire yourself up to if you don't want to stand here and talk into this thing. And Lex.
So can we connect our computer up there?
Yes, if you have an HDMI input.
Okay.
Sadly, my laptop did not. So, but if you have an HDMI input, you can also bring your own laptop up here and hook it up. Any other questions? Logistics? I told you where the bathrooms are. There will be breakfast and lunch provided each day. And then the conference dinner tomorrow night. Mm-hmm.
the Wi-Fi password, in case you can't read it over there, is Office Funny Lost Dawn. Those are all lowercase. They're all separate words. I'll say it again. Office Funny Lost Dawn. Dawn like the dawn rises.
The sun
The
going
sun.
up in the morning.
Yeah.
And that reminded me, I don't know why that reminded me, but we did, if your friends and neighbors were wanting to follow us remotely on the live stream, if you go to the conference page now, there is a URL to the live stream. People can watch that. The videos are not going to be archived immediately. I think I might have incorrectly told that to a few people. But after the conference, I'm going to get a CD or DVD that's got all the videos on it, and I will upload them all to the same YouTube channel that folks are watching the live stream on today. So if anybody wants to watch remotely, and hopefully, hi out there if anybody is watching remotely, this live stream link is there. It's a YouTube live stream. And there is a chat interface over there, and there's also on the conference page an IRC channel published. And my dear friend Matthew in the back over there has anybody said anything yet? So apparently there are a few people watching online, but nobody said anything. So for those people that are out there, feel free to either type into the YouTube chat or in the IRC channel. Matthew is back there monitoring them. And if you have any questions, he's going to step up to a microphone and he's going to ask those questions. So if anybody out there has a question, feel free to type it into the chat now and he'll relay it to us. Chris, I think you had a question. No? You're on?
Oh, does you might have answered this before? Does the laptop have LibreOffice on it, or for people who have
The one
presentations
up here, I
in that
doubt
format.
it. We can find out.
Yeah, okay.
Somehow, I suspect it does not. Anything else? Okay.
What's the hashtag?
Oh, the hashtag, yes. Also, feel free to tweet. I think Matthew was also going to follow the Twitter feed. The hashtag is EMWCon. Are hashtags case sensitive? I don't think they are. But yes, feel free to tweet about the conference too. All right. Okay, well, welcome everybody. We're delighted to have you here, and I'm going to turn the floor over to Chris Corner.